In this video, you will learn what Amor Fati is and how the love of fate will help you grow so that you can better deal with obstacles and difficulties in your life. Every day of our lives, we face challenges of varying complexity and importance. Some challenges are so small and so easy to overcome that we hardly consider them a challenge. But every once in a while, we have to face a challenge in our lives that can be so big that it feels like we will never be able to overcome it. The size and scope of the challenges we face can change from day to day, but the mindset we use when facing those challenges should remain the same. That mindset is Amor Fati, the love of one's fate. Amor Fati is the decision to make for oneself to love one's destiny, no matter what happens. It is the practice of accepting and embracing everything that has happened, is happening, and will happen. The nature of the universe is change. Without change, we would not exist at all. Whether change brings good, bad, joy, suffering, or loss, it is necessary. Billions of years of constant change have brought us to where we are right now. In this way, we can learn to love destiny. Marcus Aurelius described it this way: constant awareness that everything is born from change, the knowledge that there is nothing nature loves more than to alter what exists, what make new things like it. All that exists is the seed of what will emerge from it. The term Amor Fati comes from the philosopher Nietzsche, who describes it this way: my formula for greatness in a human being is Amor Fati, that one wants nothing to be different, not forward, not backward, not in all eternity, not merely bear what is necessary, still less conceal it, but love it. Amor Fati is often credited to the Stoics. Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius spoke about similar concepts. The Stoics were not only familiar with this attitude, but they embrace it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "As a blazing fire takes whatever you throw on it and makes it light and flame." Epictetus said, "Don't seek that all that comes about should come about as you wish, but wish that everything that comes about should come about just as it does, and then you will have a calm and happy life." Therefore, Amor Fati is the Stoic mindset we adopt to make the best of everything that happens, to treat every moment, no matter how challenging it may be, as something to be embraced and not to be avoided, to not only be okay with it, but to love it, allowing obstacles and adversity to become like oxygen to a fire and fuel for our own potential. When we accept what happens to us, after understanding that certain things are out of our control, we are left with only one thing: to love what happens to us and to face it with serenity and strength. We can choose Amor Fati by first taking control of our perceptions and then putting our new guidance into action. No matter what happens, we always have a choice in how we perceive and respond to the event. Marcus Aurelius wrote in this regard, "And among the things you turn to, these two: first, that things have no hold on the soul. They stand there unmoving, outside it. Disturbance comes only from within, from our own perceptions. Second, that everything you see will soon alter and cease to exist. Think of how many changes you have already seen. The world is nothing but change. Our life is only perception." How can we use Amor Fati for ourselves? Amor Fati causes us to say we will put our energy, emotions, and efforts only where they will really make a difference. We will say to ourselves, "This is what I have to do or endure? Well, I might as well be happy about it and make the best out of it. The goal is not, I'm okay with this. The goal is not, I think I might feel good about this. The goal is, I like this. I love it. Because if it happened, it was meant to happen. And I'm glad it happened. I'm going to make the most of it. I know it is easier said than done. And yes, it seems a little unnatural to love things we didn't want in the first place. But from what other worse adversities might this event save us? What might we learn from this unwanted experience? What good or unexpected events might come from it? When major obstacles or adversities happen to us, it's hard at first to see the good or the great experience in it at that point. This only happens in retrospect. But most of the time, it has been the major obstacles and adversities that have furthermore made us what we are today. We learn from them, and these experiences make us more resilient and stronger. What has been your biggest obstacle in life so far? And how have you dealt with it? Let me know in the comments. Viktor Frankl was a renowned psychologist. Frankl was captured by the Nazis during World War II and spent several years in various concentration camps. After his wife, parents, and brother were murdered by the Nazis, after witnessing the deaths of countless people in the camps, and after going through immense pain and suffering himself, Frankl came to this realization. You cannot control what happens to you in life, but you can always control what you feel and what you do about what happens to you. This was his secret to surviving the camps when few others did. He took control of his perceptions. To live according to Amor Fati is to do just that, to change how we perceive what has happened to us or is happening to us. Did we fight against adversity? Good. What opportunity did it give us to grow? Have we experienced loss? How did that teach us to appreciate what we have and not take things for granted? Have we lost our jobs? What doors have opened that might have remained closed? This may seem overly optimistic in the first place, but if these events have already occurred, we gain no benefit from being negative. Negativity will not change the past, but optimism can improve our current lives. To accept an event does not mean to resign, but to take appropriate action and make the best out of it. Marcus Aurelius described it this way: to be like the rock that the waves keep crashing over. It stands unmoved, and the raging of the sea falls still around it. It's unfortunate that this has happened. No, it's fortunate that this has happened, and I've remained unharmed by it, not shattered by the present or frightened of the future. If this attitude helped Viktor Frankl overcome the deaths of his closest family members, the deaths of countless people in the camps, and the immense suffering he endured for years during the greatest catastrophe in human history, will it not also help us with our obstacles and adversities? Obstacles or challenges are seen by most people as something negative, to be avoided, rather than something to be celebrated. This perception is based on the fear of failure, but with the right attitude, this view can be changed into something much more positive. Instead of looking at an obstacle as something we might stumble and fall over, we can look at it as something that needs to be overcome and that will lift us up. When an obstacle is in front of us, we should not say, "Oh no, why is this happening to me?" but rather ask ourselves, what am I going to do? How will I use this opportunity to grow? It is important to remember that certain things are out of our control, and it is up to us to decide whether or not we see these as positive or negative. Marcus Aurelius put it this way: the mind adapts and converts to its own purposes the obstacle to our acting. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel, and more importantly, share the video with someone who can benefit from this content. Thank you and stay inspired.